Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Ladder Legends replay analysis. Today we have Lotus versus GreyElek, and let's see what he said. He said, I struggle a lot in TvT, especially against players with decent fundamentals. This guy was 3.3k and did the same 3 Reaper 2 Hellion opening I did, but did it better, denied my expansion, then hit me with 3 Ravens, 3 tanks, and a bunch of bio while I was trying to get my production up. I think I should have had 2 tanks on the edge of my expansion by the time he got here and 1 tank in my main to help with the drops, and I probably should have had like 4 to 6 Vikings by then to help with the Ravens, but I'm not sure how to hold this. Okay, so, you are a mech player, my friend. You are a mech player, correct? I recommend that after we do our initial Reaper Hellion opening, we go for a reactor on the barracks, and then we go for a tech lab on the factory, and then we swap the reactor with the reactored barracks with the starport. We start reactoring out Vikings immediately. As long as you can get 5 to 7 Vikings, usually, like, and I know they come out in pairs of 2, so 4 to 6 Vikings by the time that the Raven push comes across, and you are diligent with your Viking micro, you can circumnavigate the Raven meta by doing that. It also allows you for a faster third command center because you don't need as much gas. You don't need to take your third and fourth gases as fast with this kind of opener. I can send you a replay of the build if you would like. I play a very, very greedy TvT. I play 3cc double armory off of 111 most of the time with the reactored starport. You can have 3 siege tanks out at the time that the 3 to 4 tanks out at the time that that push hits, and usually 6 to 8 Vikings, and it just shuts it down. The Ravens will die before they can interference matrix, and as long as your tanks are in good position, they can't interference matrix all of them, and you can pull the boys if needed, plus land your Vikings. So that's the goal with the way I do the TvT defense. Now let's back it up. Let's look at what you're doing, because it sounds like you're both playing standard versus standard. So first and foremost, he's playing up a ramp with his units first. He's waiting for you to be the attacker because he values his defense more. So immediately we should leave. The moment you see the exact same amount of units that you have and your units have already taken damage, it's time to go home. Now we need this ramp position to take a better fight, plus our reinforcement point is way further away. His additional unit is already going to be here much faster than our unit, right? So we need to go home. Fighting here, never a good idea. Because watch, this Hellion dies. I was going to say dies almost instantly, but you save it at the cost of a Reaper dying instantly, right? So we lose 2 Reapers now. And we also, because we were supply blocked at 31 for a while, the CC finished instead of the depot. We're not mining out of this gas. But the most important part is that we're not building anything. We're just going to count. We're going to do some counting with how long it took us to build some additional units here. This is when you go across, and after this Hellion is when we stop making stuff. So what timing is that? That's at 3:33. So we don't start making anything until 3:55. We waited an entire 20 seconds before we built anything. If we'd even have built an additional Hellion plus Reaper, it would have helped. Or Marine, Hellion plus Marine would have helped so significantly here. We are floating a bunch of cash. We're not mining out of our second gas. The only thing we did during this time was land our natural command center, which is part of the reason why he's able to deny this expansion, is because we haven't built any units. And now we have to wait the entire time for the Banshee to come out, right? It's like these 2 units would have been crucial in helping that defense with the other units that we had. He scans, he sees the second factory. There we go, we get it landed. But at this point, we're down by 2 workers plus some gas mining. We're also floating a ton of cash. There we go, third command center going down. We're building an additional factory. I would have preferred to see you swap the factory with the barracks and then use the barracks to build another add-on. That way we could have some of the help with some of this mineral overflow. We can go ahead and take our additional gases on the natural. We're oversaturated. There we go. We fixed the oversaturation in the main. We got some SCVs just chilling, doing nothing here. So what it really looks like to me, Lotus, is that we need to clean up our early game. We need to focus way less on the micro and focus way more on the macro. It seems like that's maybe part of the reason why you want to play mech, so you get to focus on the macro more. And if that is the case, I can definitely give you a greedier but less micro-intensive opener that is safe against most things and helps circumnavigate this meta like we were talking about. Because you didn't start Viking production until just now. We have a singular Banshee out and still nothing else. So we built a ton of infrastructure while the TvT meta currently is kind of just pumping out units. So we need to at least be pumping out certain sections of units to allow us to get this infrastructure up, right? All of our money went into additional factories plus additional command center instead of units. Like we actually do have some units, but not only are they not rallied, but they're not in position currently. So we also have no map vision, so we have no idea this is coming. Whenever you're going mech, like you have a marine somewhere, we could be using this marine wherever he's out. I think he's chilling right there. Yeah, he is. We use him. We send him out as a spotter marine, at least out to the front. That way you know when this push is showing up, because what they can do is they can siege from here, and they will be able to hit your mineral line. Or in this case, he's actually going to be able to siege even further up with this. So now we're having to lift the command center again. A lot of this is just coming down to not being able to build units. And then our Viking production started way, way late. I would love to get you on a call for 10-15 minutes, or maybe if you're down, I'll send you a replay of the opener that I like to do in TvT. I think it would suit you very well. So you always want to start these fights with the Vikings as well whenever you start a breakout. Let's see. Could we have broken out here, and how would we have done it? I think the answer is yes. So let's see. So what we want to do is you want to try to spread these units out as they go. Maybe before we take this fight, you send the Banshee to the bottom and maybe come in this side with the Banshee. That way the Marines start coming towards the bottom and they're not acting as a frontal meat shield for your units. And then as everything comes out here, siege this tank as it gets to like here. Siege that tank, and then the other two keep fighting. That way you get some, you don't want to siege all of them for two reasons, because it takes a while for them to siege up, but also siege tank single target DPS is more damage per second than they have while sieged. So in this scenario, not only do you get the damage out faster because they're not having to waste time sieging, but you also get more damage per second out of two of your tanks. And that way you still have the splash damage. This one target here. These guys will target the tanks, kind of thing. I also would recommend potentially landing these Vikings for this, but yeah, it just we just didn't have the units we needed to really break out of there effectively. But yeah, hopefully this helps, Lotus. I know it was a brief, quick, and it felt like it was over in the blink of an eye. TvT is all about positioning, and I could definitely help you improve your positioning. Please feel free to PM me any questions that you have, and we will get you sorted and straight. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.